Right, Colin, Luen, S tier.
Dude, like,
Yes,
it. Just don't
yes,
just
he is.
delete the
Oh
image
my
from the
gosh.
list.
Lewin Leon Kerr is a great guy.
Crazy,
Canonically, a great
Put
guy.
them against each other.
Who's
gosh.
Malabad? Who's Malabad? However you say it. Eli, you wanna talk about his vampire son who killed him?
Oh my God.
Anything you have to say about this?
Is this end time stuff? I don't want to talk about end time stuff.
Yeah. What about it? It's crazy. It's crazy. What happened with Malabad?
End time's not real. End time's not real.
End times isn't real, but when Malekith is the true Phoenix King, it's real. That's crazy.
Well, you know.
That's crazy. That's crazy.
Oh my gosh. Louis Leon Kerr takes the time, whenever he has time, to listen to all of his subjects, no matter their station. He's a wonderful fellow.
He's factually incorrect.
Good fellow.
So
end times are not real.
You know what you're doing. You put him. Get that out of there. No.
Oh, big. Sorry for that.
You get him out of there.
Where am I putting him?
If I knew more fantasy lore, I would. Okay, yeah. Calm down. He's a great guy. Yeah? He's an S tier.
I will give him. He did have a cool moment where he helped mentor Karl Franz a bit in the campaign for him to become the emperor. I'll give him that.
Karl Franz?
No. That is not what that means.
Where do I put him then?
Just put him up there.
Fine.
Wow, huge.
Yeah. So.
Hey, he was fine in S tier.
Hello, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls. Welcome to Lorecrimes. Happy New Year!
Happy New Year, fellas.
How are we guys doing? I mean, I've had an okay New Year's. I'm hoping everyone who's watching's had one. Colin, how has your New Year's been?
It's been productive. Upside, right? I got so many videos actually done in time to be able to go do something with my free self, which is nice. Downside, now need to pay my own medical insurance. Double downside. Someone got some credit card information from me, so I had to go cancel some purchases. Yeah.
But on the bright side, dogs.
Both
two dogs.
And the credit card information thing is really just, cancel it, and then the purchases someone else made go away.
Nice.
It's better than the last.
Sorry, go for it.
It's not quite as funny as the last time, because this purchase was someone just went into a men's store and ordered some stuff, and then some random stuff from some online store. The other time I got my credit card stolen, I just dropped it on the ground. I'm not kidding you. Dude bought a kayak.
Wow.
So we knew it was stolen because I looked at the app on my phone. It was like, all right, I don't own a kayak, and the dude also went mini golfing.
Wow.
At the little indoor
with
course. I think the mini golf. I don't remember which came first in what order. So I think the dude went to buy a kayak and then went mini golfing.
Okay. Fair enough. Well, at least it's all sorted now. Eli, how was your New Year's? All good?
Yes, all good. I need to shave and get a haircut. I'm looking homeless, but it's all good.
I did have one today. I had a trim. I had the proper burly scrappy beard with the long hair, and then yesterday I was like Harrison Ford in The Fugitive, just trimming my beard off and stuff.
Very good.
By the way, everyone, Hal cannot be with us today. But you've got us instead, so you'll have to make do. But today, for a bit of fun, we're venting our daddy issues, because today we are going to be rating Daddies of Warhammer. So this is both Warhammer Fantasy and 40k. As you can see, we've got a whole plethora. What's up?
Say dad, say father.
Daddies. Daddy. So this is a daddy stream. So without further ado, shall we get cracking, or should we got a few donos? Should we go through the donos first?
Yeah, I haven't seen a single Warhammer message in the chat for the last minute or two.
No, that's been nothing.
Go to 2 stream, say the N-word, something about how gooning. Come on.
Well, to kick us off then, the first donation from Set for $4.99. A little bit for the best channels on YouTube.
Oh, thank
sorry
you.
in advance if I can't say it all the way through. Keep up the good times. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much.
Would you guys like to read the next few? We've got 3 more.
Sure. You can go ahead, call.
Sure thing. Donkey Man USA, thanks for the $5. Hal
Thank
Goon
you.
so hard he delayed the stream not once but twice.
Yep.
Oy.
Kabundia's Mighty Schlong of Cygnus, classic. Where's the Amber Daddy? He is not here today, unfortunately.
Hopefully next.
But thank you. Main event Virgil, you're a regular. I guess all of you are at this point. Thank you for the 5.
Thank you as always.
Hope you're having a lovely new year. Sorry to hear about all that shiz, Colin. My New Year's resolution is to use that kayak I got a while ago. Awesome.
I hope you
Also
enjoy
got
it, you ass.
And A Danfe or A Danf the First. Eldrad is my daddy.
Thank you very much.
Huge. Another person who likes Eldar.
Eldar already winning. Eli should love his wife more, bro. I love my wife.
So technically the first bunch of these are all technically gene daddies, so we know they have children. But we're starting off strong with the lion.
D tier, not a good father.
D tier.
Absolutely terrible father.
All right.
Decapitates his own son with a backhand. Pretty bad start.
Yeah. Can we add an F tier? I don't think he's going to F tier, but
true.
True.
Let's go. And it wasn't on purpose, but you don't backhand your son's skull clean off his neck and not have some issues.
If you do not like Dad's special interest, he will disown you. So sorry.
There we go. So we'll put him in D for that because Nemiel, poor little guy, he's just like, maybe we should do what your dad says. And he went, shut up. Although he is now looking after his estranged children known as the Risen.
With 2 Z's.
Does he get an? Yeah. Does he get a promotion to C because he's now learning he was a bad dad and now he's like, I've come back with the cigarettes and the milk. I'm gonna quit smoking as a compromise.
Sure.
I don't know. I think you should stay at D. Is like the vast amount of information we have on the guy is during the heresy, and he was a bit of a dick.
And to be fair, Jake Thornton said D for decapitation. I think that's fair. Next,
S tier dad. A or S tier?
Why?
What do you mean? He's a great dad. He always was.
He's
a little bit pressuring. Sure. This is pre-heresy Fulgrim.
All right. Well, if we're including what? No, it's not just pre-heresy Fulgrim. No.
But pre-heresy Fulgrim is S tier. Post-heresy is F tier. So put him in B, I guess.
Well, the thing is, isn't there like a passage where Lucius makes a remark about how they've been doing naughty things to each other, and like Fulgrim makes a comment, and you're like, dude, that's your son. What are you doing? Stop being Empress children. You're weird.
Yeah, that's why I say heresy Fulgrim's a bad dad, but pre-heresy he's great.
Plus, and also he also kills his son by decapitation.
Yeah, Eidolon's,
but then he has the temerity to sew it back on and go, Fulgrim, revive him. It's fine.
I really think he should go down to C.
Crazy.
Mm-hmm.
Look, if one of your kids is so filled with hate at you that he sits in a cave for 10,000 years to blow you up with a nuke, I think you're an exceptionally bad dad.
If there was more pre-heresy lore, I would get my way, but there's more heresy than pre-heresy, so I will admit defeat.
I'll grant you that, but
all right, I think we got our first F tier contender.
If the Eldar would just win more often.
We definitely have an F tier contender. Perturabo's got to be an F, surely. It's Perturabo.
Awful.
Hello, children. How are you all? Kill yourselves. The first 5 minutes of meeting him.
Just a quick question. Do you guys remember anything nice he's ever done for anyone?
I feel like he was a nice guy in the beginning of his Primarch book when he was nice to his family, but I haven't read that for years, so
I can't remember much. he got on okay with Magnus, but he was kind of like playing with his Thomas the Tank Engine.
He was
stuff,
friends with.
He was like,
he was
they're
friends
pretty
with
cool.
Fulgrim. When Fulgrim got shot in the head, he was like crying and sad and stuff. He was buddies with Fulgrim, even if Fulgrim led him to just the goon session, But it's
yeah, he did like.
Still
I
have to
was
drive his
reading some of
power.
the reading a passage from Angel Exterminatus, and it's like he did like he was pretty upset when Fulgrim went, sicko demon prince mode.
Yeah,
but that's still like not a nice action. That was just like, I feel bad, and that's also not really relating to his kids, who again, 1 in 10 of you need to kill yourselves right now.
with your bare hands, no less. Yeah. Like,
Yeah,
turn
actually,
on
not
your
even
brothers,
do that.
yeah.
9 out of 10 of you need to kill the other 1 out of 10 of you.
Yeah, of your 10-man squad, which you all actually get on really well, like the one who's the worst, like just kind of like not good.
Although I will give him credit for that. That might be the only ever seen use of the word decimation being used correctly, because it
oh god, the amount of times. Ugh.
It has too many names, people.
Nope.
Yeah,
you.
and I get comments like, actually, I'm like, it can mean 2 different things.
Yeah, no. People who actually you want that deserve to be decimated.
Yeah, they're Parabos in their own right.
I know where you're
getting.
He's A tier. I feel like he's a bit of an absent father sometimes, unless you're a main character.
What do you mean he's an absent father?
I mean, also half of his, not half, but a big portion of his sons turned traitor, and he had to deal with that.
And he gave
Andy, since there's
an offer to like redeem themselves.
I think he's 18.
Yeah, but that was like that was redemption and death, and I feel like a really good father isn't going to tell you to redeem yourself by dying.
Also, one of the few Primarchs who adopted an orphan son, Revival La Vida, who went on to be the Grand Master of the Grey Knights.
All right, well, Guilliman adopted
Magnus is a bad dad. I'll look after
kids.
I think he's still 18. He also has left his kids like half the other Primarchs. He's not exactly
Andy,
around anymore.
I'm not trying to argue him down to anything lower than A tier. I just think like I think that like a conversation. I don't think the Khan is like S tier dad material.
He's not going to tell you about the birds and the bees. He's going to give you some weird aloof like metaphor and make you figure it out yourself, and then you never actually figure it out. So then you're all messed up when you go to high school, and it's like,
you know what? This is the thing. Like the Khan would be like, "Hey, I'm going to teach you how to drive," and then he's like, "Hey, if you speed and you go too fast, I'll let you make the mistake, and I'll let you come home, and I'll have my arms crossed and go, what did we learn?" And that would be his parenting. So he'd let you go out and like go skateboarding or cause some trouble.
You ask him how to drive.
Just be like,
you ask him how to drive, and he says something about like you have to feel it, and then doesn't elaborate, and then just lets you do it, and then you.
That's how I learned.
I think Jaghatai's driving advice is going to start at end with him telling you to put "Kickstart My Heart" on the radio and then just pedal to the metal.
Why is he not an S tier? That's a great dad. If ever, and then he goes, "Drink your milk." And it's like, "Yes, Dad." No. Drink the milk.
He would also not get along with the other parents. He'd be I feel like he would tell his kid to go beat up the other kid.
I think
you know what he would be. Sorry, you go first.
I think we might be about to say the same thing, Andy.
No, go on. I don't think you will. Go on.
I think you ever hear like, my dad could beat up your dad. I think Jaghatai Khan would rock up, kick the other kid in the face, and then go punch his dad too.
No, what I was gonna say is like if ever you went to like a nativity, and it's like you got the kids all like singing their parts and doing. Jaghatai would be the guy who's like in the background, and he'd look at one of the other kids' dads and be like, "Kid sucks at singing." Like he wouldn't like gloss over it. He'd just be like, "They're shit," and that'd be like his thing. And he'd be like, "He is correct," and he probably wouldn't say that just flippantly. It'd be more like if you told off. If I was Jaghatai's son and I was bad at singing at the nativity, he'd be like, "Yeah, you could be better, but your kid sucks." And it's like, "Yeah, thanks, Dad." I'm being bullied, but my dad could beat up your dad and child. Anyway, next. Speaking of beating up children, Lehman Russ.
He's an okay dad.
Has he beat up children? I guess probably when they're all drinking. He's probably beat up a child at some point. Yeah.
Well,
I think Leman Horse would be much more uncle than he would be a dad.
He's a weird one though, because it's like he doesn't actually like act like his sons actually do. He kind of puts on a facade. So how does that translate to being a dad? Like, my sons are all Viking LARPers, but like me, I'm just doing it to like humor them. Is that a bad thing? Or, I don't know. It's a bit sus to me.
I think
he's very much into. He'd be the guy who's like, break into the liquor cabinet. Go on, I dare you. And then when you do, he's like, that's my boy. Like, Lehman, be responsible. It's fine. Don't worry about it.
I mean, yeah, you know, Lehman. I like that, Eli. He'd be the best uncle, but I don't know if I want to have him as the dad. What do you mean you don't want beer for dinner and breakfast and lunch?
Put meat in your cereal. It makes you strong.
Water.
Dad, I have a hangover. You're 7. You're fine. Absolute opposite. Like Rogel Dawn. Rogel Dawn would be the guy who sends you to boarding school, right?
Yeah.
He'd be the one who's like,
you could not talk to your feelings about this guy.
No,
he's literally a wall. He'd be talking
about
no
birds or bees. Now go to bed.
Funny enough, every time he had feelings, he couldn't talk about them in the heresy.
He does have his grandfather's blankie, though. He has grandpa's blankie.
Look,
he has a bit of a soft side.
Look, I think Dorn would be a very stern but fair father figure who loves you. He just doesn't know how to put it into words. So he invite. Look, I'm just saying every single bring your child to work day, he's bringing you with.
Real. I don't know if he gets A tier. I feel like if you disappoint him, he will like borderline disown you.
You will be a doctor. You will be a doctor or a lawyer. Dad, no. And he would be like, as soon as you finish school, you're going straight to work. You're going on the building site straight away. And you keep, as soon as you're 16, you're paying rent. I'm not going to give you any. Like, you're going to make your way.
But if you're a good boy, when it's bring your kid to work day and he's building the Imperial Palace, he might let you fire off one of the guns on the wall.
Good work, son. Here is the musket. Enjoy. And eventually you get to like...
Perturabo's house is over there. Could you just tilt it a bit, like 3 degrees to the right?
Oh, you know, also, that is a good point. He, if it means getting back at Perturabo, he's going to let you die and send you to the iron cage and...
You know what?
Look, that's not great, but all of his kids are equally as like wall as he is, so they all wanted to do that, which granted isn't great, but
you know what it'd be? It'd be if you threw eggs at someone's house, he would give you a massive telling off, unless it was Perturabo's house. Then he would secretly tell you, "Well done." He'd be in front of him and say, "Oh, I can't believe you, Sigismund, throwing eggs at Dawn's house."
Somebody clip that.
Well done. Well done.
But he'd buy you another carton of eggs and say, "Go back to it." Mission's not finished, soldier. He hasn't moved.
I've got you some eggs and a Nerf gun. Have fun.
F tier. Or in a way, is that
Conrad,
Curze, right? Yeah, F tier, bro. You gotta play. Worst father ever.
Eat his children.
No, put him down. Much like the Emperor should have put him down.
He's arguably even worse than Perturabo, I think, because he let his kids become what they are. And then he said, I'm fed up with this planet. Help me like murder everyone on this planet that I'm from because they've let me down once again. Like, okay, Dad. And Jago turned out quite well considering.
I think 1 out of like 100,000 or however many total Night Lords there would have been is like that's a very bad track record.
Yeah, like you've got stoic daddy issues, and then you've just got like hot topics daddy issues, but not in a cool way, like a kind of it's past its time and it's a bit depressing.
Oh my gosh.
How did that break you so easy? What was that?
Are you reading chat?
Did I hear
see a meme?
I'm reading chat when DJ
Beast Eli's wife is a Night Lord fan, Brayden.
Eli's wife is a Night Lord fan. In
Unbelievable.
I think that could be me.
I don't know enough.
We've got 2 different ways to spell Brayden in chat. This is huge.
Sanguinius, he is a great dad. Surely he's the best dad of the lot of the Primarchs, other than Guilliman.
I don't know enough about him.
He loves them. He loves them a lot. He only kills them when he has to.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I'll give him credit. He did it when they were berserk rage monsters.
Yeah, if your kid had like uncurable rabies.
Although I don't know, he could have locked him up. I'm pretty the red thirst is the one you can kind of like.
Yeah,
toughen through, isn't it?
Well, black rage you don't generally.
Black rage doesn't turn off unless you're Mephiston.
Although even the red thirst during the heresy, when it started to crop up, they were getting too thirsty, and he was just like, he's not getting better. My boy, my boy, my beautiful boy. And then Horus is like, "What's going on here?" I was like, "Don't tell Dad.
Nothing.
It's embarrassing.
Don't worry about it."
But he taught them to paint, which is really good for a Warhammer person because that's like all body. He taught them to be in touch with their feelings. When they made chaplains, he was like, "We already have them. Yours are cringe. I already have counselors in my legion who look after us." He's inspiring. Everyone loves him by default. Just by looking at him, they cry. I cry every time I look at a picture that I have framed by my bed. And I'm a Jaghatai boy, but I can't help but cry when I see Sanguinius saying that he's Uncle Sangi. He's great. He has no flaws. He's an angel. He's a beautiful
None at all, boy. Huh? No flaws?
Nope.
Not a single one.
No.
Interesting.
Do you want to say something?
If you say so. If you say so.
I'm just saying, I think he had some anger issues.
No. I thought at first you're going to be mean, like, there's one I saw a while ago say, Sanguinius has no flaws. I don't know, being dead's a bit of a red flag. Like, it hurts. Hurt my soul.
I'm sending these
I guess that does make him an absent father, but I don't know how much fault I can give someone for being dead.
Mm-hmm.
That one's a bit harder to do.
Especially fighting like the worst threat imaginable.
Do we want to read some donations before going further?
Absolutely. Would you like to get this one, Eli?
Stealthy 47, good number, good agent. Thank you for the $2. Slash is both mommy and daddy. That is correct.
Madame.
Donkey Man USA, thank you for the $2. Conrad Curze, flame me harder. Okay, let's get that off the screen, please.
Yeah.
Angry Homunculus, thank you for the 5. Story time on unknowingly touched and nearly clipped some dude's Guilliman model in the Warhammer shop in Enfield. Holy cow, sorry. Thank you for the 5. You should have finished the job. But good job. Parker Summerlin.
This man lives in the UK.
Thank you for the $4.99. I bought my nephew a trampoline. Ungrateful little bastard just sat in his wheelchair and cried. Oh my gosh.
Where's that from?
That sounds like sounds like a Perturabo quote.
I've heard that before.
Romulus, thank you for the 5. Colin is the biggest Bretonia simp, and he really thinks that Malekith is the true Phoenix King. Well, this Colin guy sounds quite reasonable.
Damn, I think this Colin guy needs to get brutally murdered.
Angry Homunculus, again, thank you for the 2. Dorn is a military dad. Very true. And I feel like those have a high chance of being whacked. But Donkey Man USA 5, thank you. Female Night Lords fans are the weakness of all emotionally starved men. Very real.
I can fix her.
Well, again, even
cannot.
Me and Connor
I want to.
Arthur Bones, Mr. Bones 40K, were talking about like the phenomena of like girls who like Night Lords. Like, and he likes Night Lords too. And it's just like, what's going on with those ladies?
Yeah, rock
That's
girls.
A lot of damage. Oh, he's put it in the chat, Rock. Very nice. I don't know what that means, but still.
I don't. It means nothing. It means fucking nothing.
I feel like that should be more like if you're into the Death Guard, you're a rot girl, but oh well. I'm too old. I don't get it. I don't know what's happening.
Guilliman has Elizabeth Young's undying lust. I mean, respect. Interesting.
So real for that. So real.
Speaking of undying lust, Ferrus Manus.
He could have been a good dad.
No.
He could have been a good dad.
No.
No.
Put him in C with his best buddy.
I think he should be worse than the Lion, to be honest.
I don't know.
He's not F tier, but he's a taskmaster.
He
doesn't do anything other than like...
He wanted to fix his kids' problems, at least. He just didn't get to survive long enough to do it. So.
Yeah, that's what happens when you're the first one to die.
Well, the thing is, he's better than Perturabo because he didn't like go, I need you guys to suffer so much. Go and kill each other.
Kill yourselves.
But he was but he was less compassionate than the Lion, which is saying something because it's the Lion. And he's all like, hey, it just reminds me of like Sigismund's novel. There's a bit where he fights the Iron Hands champion called Fot. There's a joke in there somewhere about Ferrus's Fot. And he like gets beaten by Sigismund. And then there's like, for a fact when doors are closed, Ferrus is like punishing that guy for not winning like badly. But he'd live, I suppose. And he'd be like, well, now you get it. Bad news. I'm going to like break your arm. Good news. Here's a bionic one. Like, ooh,
he's the dad.
That's Ferrus down to a T.
He's the dad that forces his kids into sports and competitions and stuff that they don't want to do.
Yes.
Whereas
Ferrus is also the guy who goes, you're doing this sport and this hobby and this sport and you're doing this homework and this and this and these are the grades you will get or you are going to have problems.
Or I'm going to
kill sleep
you.
At this time. And if you make me look bad in front of any of the other parents, I will kill you. That's Ferrus.
The Lion will just leave a 6-year-old at home for a week and wonder why they weren't able to manage themselves and wonder why the house is destroyed when he comes back.
If you're bad, the Lion will release you into the
car on a hot day.
The Lion will release you into the forest of Caliban and just be like, he'll be fine. That's his punishment. See him in a week.
You got it, little Timmy.
Yeah, like a stray cat. Oh, here we go. Another great dad.
Angron could have been a great dad. He could have been a great dad.
He was made to be a good dad, and he messed it up because someone had to put nails in his brain. Ugh.
He didn't mess it up. He didn't mess up anything.
I don't fault him for that, but also, like, functionally, that means he's a real shit dad.
Well, yeah, he's terrible. Oh, he could have been great.
He's all in up.
Surely he's not even. Surely he's F tier. He spent the first time he meets his kids, he kills them all until.
Oh yeah.
Until Karn shows up.
Until Karn finally gets him to stop doing that.
S tier dad for Karn. F tier for everyone else, I guess.
To be fair, I did a voice line for Warrior Tier's video on Angron, and I was Grier, who was like the original first captain, and he's just like, hello, my lord. I can't wait to help you reclaim worlds in the name of the Emperor. And he says, the name of who? And he just kills him. And I'm like, that was a short part. Oh well. And yeah, like Khan's there, just like seeing all of his brothers smeared on the walls, and he's like, right, this is the worst interview of my life. Okay, let's go.
Things have been better.
Surely this is one of the best dads we can get.
Yeah.
Although I feel like he'd be too busy for you most of the time, but I think he's still a good dad.
He's a good dad. I mean, he'd be like, I'm very busy, Timmy, but do you need a hand? Okay, ask your mother. Or he'd be like, okay, Tyrannic for okay, cool. Give me a minute. Daddy's got a lot of work to do. I'll sort it out later. He does crack jokes with his sons. He's a good man.
Yeah.
Good dad.
He's a good dad.
I mean, you were talking about the adoption thing, Andy. He adopted 2 entire legions of kids. Just quietly brought them into the Ultramarines.
Explain. Those ones. I thought you were
unknown.
For a second.
No. The 2.
Well, technically, Dorn did as well. Like they had like 1 each. Possibly.
Yeah, Dorn. Yeah, or they split it somehow.
For that, I'm going to put Dorn a bit higher than Lehman.
Crazy.
But also, like during Secundus, it was like, "Hey guys, we're going to make the biggest pillow fort in the universe. Come to Uncle Rabute's," and there's like, "Oh yeah, Dark Angels, Blood Angels, a few White Scars," and say, "This will be freaking cool. Uncle Guilliman's got the biggest house there is. Amazing." And then Curze has to go ruin it all by like massacring civilians and trying to bully his mum. That's not good. And he did have a good dad. To be fair, of all the people we put on, it's like Angron kind of had a dad, but he died. Perturabo had less of a dad, more of like a jailer. Lion had a dad who stabbed him in the end.
Yeah, that did happen.
Kind of had a Fulgrim had like a cooperative. Dorn had a granddaddy.
Fulgrim had
Lehman had a dad.
He had a couple.
Well, this is where one was
about it.
Dorn had a granddad because he was like, oh, the really old guy from the Dorn tribe. Lehman had a dad who died of old age, which is rare in Fenris. Jaghatai had a dad, and then someone had to go and kill him and ruin everything. And then, Guilliman had a mum and a dad, and the dad died, but he also had Guilliman, and Guilliman is the best mum in 40k. Guilliman.
Tom Warren kind of spitting. Guilliman's the overworked businessman who never spends time with his kids, but when he says he's actually doing it to give them a better life, he actually means it, and he's not just hookers and blow in the office.
Real.
Also, look, like you said, Andy, I will say I don't know how much credit it gives Guilliman, but like the only Primarch where the Ultramarines could realistically expect to meet Grandma.
Yeah. And also the only one around other than the Lion who doesn't count. It's like, to be fair, it's a pretty good dad to have. Like, he has most of the Space Marine chapters. He's now in charge of the Imperium entire. He's the kind of guy who will build a house for you to live in, not for him to be like, look at my big house, I'm so great.
Your pension has never been more secure than if Guilliman's your dad.
Yeah, Guilliman has so many trust funds, it's unbelievable. Everyone's benefiting from those trust funds. Whereas Jaghatai's I've got you a lot of land. It's like, thanks, Dad. But Bobby from up next door, his dad's got 1,700 houses and he's in charge. Grass is fun, but I kind of like bricks and marble.
I'm
There's
gonna
been
say C.
I've only read 3 Death Guard Horus Heresy books, but it didn't seem that bad.
I mean, that's why he tripped up at the end too, because his kids were suffering all around him. And he was like, "I don't want to watch this anymore. This is horrible."
Even in his Primarch book, it's pretty cool. He's sorry.
Oh no, I delayed. Sorry. Granted, he did stop the suffering by pledging all their souls to hell, which not great. But again, it was done out of love. Better than, again, anyone in F tier.
And bro took the longest dad nap ever.
Yeah. To be fair, there's also a nice exchange in Mortarion's book where it's him and the Barbarans are all trying to kill the Necromancer Lords. And one of them calls one of the others bitter blood because he's like, he tasted the blood. And it's been he's cracking jokes at the expense of his son. He's like, oh, Dad. And at this point, he's not his dad. He's his comrade in arms. And then they put the gene seed in him. And it's like, now you're my daddy. And it's like, oh, okay. But he had a bit of a very dry sense of humor. He was at the end of it trying to do well by his sons. But he did order the purge of a large proportion of his sons that didn't agree with him. So I'm okay, yes, you were nice to your sons on that bridge when they were turning into Nurgle Plague Marines, but you also went after my boy Nathaniel Garrow, which makes you an idiot and I hate you.
Look, I think C's fine.
Yeah, I think so too.
What about Huron Fowl? We'll go together then, shall we?
Yeah, it's sad.
Virus bombs.
Sad.
What do you mean it's sad? It's really bad.
Fulgrim was also part of that, and he's in C.
Oh, true. But why is the Lion here for backhanding one guy, and these are
because he has tism, bro. He has the tism.
Oh, okay, I see. I see what kind of stream this is.
Look. The virus bombing thing isn't great, but that's there's a level of detachment. When you backhand your kid's head off, you are you are in the trenches. You are there.
The Lion's just not going to be a good dad, bro. The Lion is great by himself. He's going to go out and do his own thing, and you're never going to see him again.
I like that mentality of you shouldn't hit your kids, but if you firebomb the school they're in, it's fine. Huh? What?
Yeah,
what is going on here? What's happening?
That's nice and quick.
Oh gosh.
It's dispassionate. Okay, whatever. Oh, here we go. Worst. That's Magnus. Get rid of Magnus. I hate
He's really bad.
him.
He's an enabler.
As much as we're as much as we give the Lion grief, Magnus in his book, when Prospero's under attack, he hides the Space Wolves presence from his civilian populace and his sons. And then one of them, I think it's Ufazar, he's like, Scarab Occult's coming to me. He's like, Dad, space wolves coming to kill us. And he's like, no, don't worry about it. We should all be dying because we're bad. And he's like, no, we should protect. And he goes, and he just like kills him. Like, you are such a dick.
Yeah, see, that one was not an accident. That one was not the lion who just put a bit too much juice in that swing.
That was like, I'm so self-loathing. I should like let all my people die as well, rather than evacuate them or let them know. So no, and then worst of all, he then has a change of heart. Goes, no, actually, I kind of like living. It's like, oh, you're the worst. Screw you, Magnus.
After he had already cast Power Word Kill on his kid.
Yes. After he'd done the what's it, Dr. Manhattan on Rorschach, like. Reference for that. I've killed Colin. Is he F tier or D?
He's either top of F or bottom of B. I don't know. But he had good dad moments before all that stuff happened, I think. So I think he still can get D.
Like what?
Yeah.
What do you mean? He was pretty nice to his kids.
He had good stuff with Airman.
He was trying to educate them, trying to help. I mean, at the same time, it was like send your kids down the dark web and see what they find, I guess. But it's fine.
But he was right there with you.
Yeah.
His kids were
he was in the computer right next to you.
He encouraged their abilities and stuff, you know.
He was all there like, I've taught you literacy up until Ligma balls. It's like,
he trusted Airman with the big book. That's pretty big. That's good, decent dad stuff. Horus.
Horus himself. Mr. Charisma. Like, Colin, would you like to share with the chat a book you recently got?
Yes. I due to a deal, somehow I have purchased the audiobook of Horus Rising.
Goated book.
Huge.
I have heard it's a good book. The first 3 Horus Heresy books are good because that's when they planned it to be like a 10-book series and not a million.
Yes, sure.
Yeah. To be honest, my favorite thing of those books is the voice they put for Horus, which is like, hello everyone, I'm Horus Lupercal. And for some reason, I talk like this, my son. I talk out of my nose rather than from my mouth. Like, fair enough. That's a voice for Horus, I suppose. I don't know why.
Guy
that just stuck with me.
Did that?
No, it's what's his name who did Hell's Reach and all sorts. I think it's what's his chops, like a good audio guy, but like for some reason Horus, he just made him really nasally. I don't know why. Oh,
it's a cute puppy.
Oh, puppy.
He's getting uppity. I think he wants to leave.
Never.
Puppy, you want to help rank Horus?
Oh, dog.
What a cutie.
Dog.
What a cutie.
He's so small and fluffy.
Right. Headphones are a lot harder to put on one hand. All right, Bucky. Where do we put Horus? He seems confused mostly.
Corgis, that is most of their reign. I am confused but endearing.
Nice. Eat the dog, says Thankful.
No.
No. Don't do it.
Horus can get. Horus also brought his kids down the whole Horus heresy.
Yeah, it is named after him. It's got to be.
But he loved them a lot, to be fair.
He did, but didn't he also kind of like encourage every bad thing about his legion that caused that, warrior lodges? There we go. Yeah. I totally forgot that he was like, that kind of competition's good, and that kind of competition led to some stuff.
Because the thing about Horus that's weird is, I think one of the biggest problems with Horus as a character is that it's kind of ambiguous how much of it was Horus and how much of it was like Chaos using him as like a puppet. Classic. Where it's like, up until he gets stabbed by the Spear of Rust, it's like, that's not really Horus. That's like Horus, like puppet hand Horus almost. So it's like, I never quite know how to
the Fulgrim dilemma.
How much?
Authors making their characters do whatever they want them to for convenience.
How much sword magic?
Chaos.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right, but how about this? Like, we were we were discussing Mortarion. You brought up the whole virus bombing thing. That was Horus. He was the dad who said we need to do this, and then convinced the other dads to nuke their kids.
After
Yes,
being
he
stabbed
agrees with
by
me.
the
Bucky
chaos
agrees with me.
thingy. All right, then, Bucky, where should we put
Yeah,
Horus?
but he still did it. It's like the same thing as Angron. Like, yeah, Angron probably would have been great without the nails, but he's got them. Sure, Horus would have been great if he wasn't stabbed, but he was. Also, again, I'd like to point out, just look up to S tier at Guilliman, who got stabbed by the same sword, and he just went, nah, I'm built different. Not me. Couldn't be me.
Nah, cool, Farron. You're rubbish. Watch.
And then he exploded.
That heart of yours. Do you mind if I borrow this? Oh,
yeah,
yeah. Poor Farron. So yeah, we're thinking D.
Yes.
Sure.
And I will be right back because I think the puppy. Yes, thank you, buddy. Is gonna go upstairs because he's getting uppity. Okay. I will leave with you. I think Lorgar's A tier, and I will be
so base.
I will let you stew in that until I'm back. I'll be right back.
No, right? No, we're gonna do some donos until you get back. I'm not letting that stand. That's rubbish.
Wow.
So I'll get a couple of these. Tom Kerber for $10.
Thank you very much.
Hi guys, did you know someone made an AI Skaven song?
I believe it.
Sounds like something the Skaven would do. Adanth the first again. Ferrus is a bit over his head when it comes to.
Jeez, that's a cool profile pic. Coffee grounds for snorting. That's not your normal profile pic. Thank you.
Changed.
Thank you though for gifting the 5 Lorecrimes memberships. Thank you very much.
Would you like to read these ones, Eli?
Sure. Tom Warren, thank you for the $2. Oh my gosh, Horus was a beetle all along. I get it now because of how Andy was talking. Hollow Network host, $5. Thank you. Morty is worst son ever. Also, Lion needed to stay looking for the milkman. Mr. Sleeping Beauty wannabe Bretonian. Wow, that is quite the sentence. Thank you. Ooh. Thank you, Donkey Man USA, for the $5. I goon to Jonathan Keeble, his Gothic voice mostly. Thank you. I'm sure Colin does as well. Speaking of,
Seth, thank you.
You goon to Jonathan Keeble as Donkey Man USA also does, I guess. The Gothic voice specifically, a guy who
isn't that Brian Blessed?
Yeah, Jonathan Keeble's probably read the books before and done the voice, I imagine. Okay. We were reading donos until you got back, Colin, because Andy refused to
let that slide.
Set, thank you for the $4.99. Toby Longworth giving Horus and Gaunch the same voice. That is funny.
Yeah.
Thank you very much for the donations, you guys.
Technically.
I gooned to Deadlist for the Dark God shorts. Thank you, Shekel Shover. Really just said that on
All right.
I got baited so hard by that. Oh,
good Lord.
Okay, Colin, explain yourself. What are you talking about? Why are we putting him so high?
I think Lorgar is a spiritual man, and I think he would be there for his kids when there's some trying times. I think he would be present, and he would do his best. And, maybe B tier, given everything that's happened, but I think he'd put in the effort, which is more than a pretty decent amount of people on this list, both already gone through and upcoming.
And I'd like to think he still tries.
Can I counter that with one factoid?
Of course.
So, bear in mind, the Word Bearers currently are the only intact legion. But Lorgar's been stuck in his tower for 10,000 years, meditating and or gooning without any contact with his kids.
I'm pretty sure he's doing something. I don't know where to find this Lorgar.
That's not
but
his
I've heard
fault,
he's doing stuff.
There's this crazy bird that keeps attacking him every time he leaves his house. He's on house arrest.
Also,
it's not his fault.
Lorgar fed his children to demons. Yeah, he did. Yeah, he's pretty bad. It's pretty bad.
Yeah, maybe bump him down a rank or two. I did.
B is fine. I think he deserves B. I think he deserves B. He cares.
I'm saying a lot of them seemed pretty willing to the whole demon thing.
Yeah, and they were. It was pretty cool.
Look, all I'm saying is, if you imagine all the kids, imagine the Space Marines were kids in a school, and the Primarchs were parents. if you went to school and there was a whole class of like Lorgar's children, and they were like, "Hey, do you want to like read this book of this really important book?" And say, "Oh, and by the way, if you don't read it, we're gonna like use your blood to draw new passages in its pages." I'd be like, bad parenting. Bad.
But that's not how it was at first. I blame the Emperor.
At first, it was burning books and churches. Like,
always a good choice.
Like,
blame the Emperor.
It was like burning books. It was like that scene in Indiana Jones. It's like, yeah, that was what they were doing before. And then they were like, oh, no, I understand. We need to burn everything other than this. Oh, chaos. Yum. Chaos. Like, no.
Yummy chaos.
What are these freaks? Put them in the bin where they belong. Yuck. Ugh. Bad dad.
Give him B tier.
B tier.
I love you, Lorgar.
You're a real one for what you did.
Oh.
Calth was self-defense.
That's correct.
Good. But I think Vulcan.
Surely Vulcan's S tier.
Really
Vulcan, come on, put him up there. Get him.
Although he's making his kids go on a silly quest to find all the relics, and then he'll come back. But he won't come back unless they get the silly quest done. I don't know. That does seem a little weird.
Look.
Go ahead, Colin. You go first.
A quest is healthy. You know, it gives you something to do. It keeps you busy. Keeps you off the streets.
Yeah, I mean, if I'm being honest, could you imagine a galactic-wide treasure hunt? That sounds fun to me.
Yeah.
If I was a kid, I'm like, oh yeah.
It's
I'm not just like, oh, we're gonna get you like
Easter egg hunt.
And we're not being like, oh, under the tree at the end there's a Hershey bar. It's like, no, there's like a cool spear, and there's like an entire ship with like a forge in it and a planet-sized like thing.
And you get a free WMD.
Like, that's cool. Yeah, it's cool. It's really cool. And Vulcan's cool, and everyone loves him. And he had a dad, and he killed Eldar with his dad, which is really cool.
Never mind. F tier. Fuck this guy.
Drukari. It was Drukari. It's fine. And
a kid. I will never let that go.
Sometimes it needs to be done. You know, that could have been Stalin. You never know.
yeah. That Eldar child is
Stalin.
I saw it.
Yeah. That was Mao. That was like mini Mao.
Kind of number one.
Speaking of tyrants, speaking of ravens,
I know no Raven
Edgar Allan Poe,
so I will not say anything. I've read one Raven Guard book.
I would honestly put him like here, because let's not forget he had all the Terran Astartes, and he was like, oh, Horus is making me do gate 42, where I'm gonna like just send my men to like charge the gate, which makes no sense because we're not good at doing that, and like most of them will die. I guess the Terrans will do, and those who didn't die, he said, I don't like you, fuck off, and he just sent them off. The Ghoul Stars, like, that's a bad dad, and slightly racist dad. Like, oh, you're from Terra? Yeah. Only my Lycaeus boys are good enough. Terrans, cringe. Yuck.
It's a funny message from DJ Beast in the chat.
What's he done?
Eli, if you could pick between China or your wife, how would you divorce your wife? That's crazy. That is crazy.
Yeah. Corax is kind of dumb. I don't know. He's like, I don't like Terrans. I'm a bit edgy.
Eli's wife thinks Taiwan is a country. Gosh. Okay.
Does anyone have any problems with me?
I don't know any
here?
Corax lore.
That's the most Corax response ever. Like,
I've read 30 freaking Horus Heresy books, and I feel like I don't know half of the stupid lore.
He's got his own anthology book called Corax, and it's like nothing's memorable about him at all. It's a shame.
I hit the mute button again because I'm a goofy goober. Corbin, give him C. Look, he tries. He just sucks at it. Like, you know, the thing where he emergency made a bunch of Space Marines and got Alpha Legion, and it was like, damn, that's not great, but I'll take care of this.
How many arms do you have again? Wait, 4? That's too many.
Not great, but you know, he did his best.
Speaking of Alpha Legion, Alpharius, weirdo.
He was a great dad at first. I think he was S tier dad in the Great Crusade.
Yeah.
But during the Horus Heresy, your life means nothing to this guy, and he will sacrifice you on any mission that he wants to.
All I'm saying
was a good dad.
If you were again at school and all of his kids were like, I'm trying to look more like my dad in every conceivable way. Look what I did with like my protractor. I'd be like, concern. What is going on?
You need an intervention.
Yes.
I think he was an S tier dad. I think C is fine. He had some good.
Good point here from Fiddy. He's a chronic liar. How could you have him? The whole thing is about deception, gaslighting, lying, and also look like me and shave your head. Never grow hair. Hair is bad. No.
Is it Alpharius raising the kids or Omegon in secret because Alpharius forgot to? Says Coffee Grounds for Snorri. Very real. Yeah, I think real. I think C tier is. I think A tier is too nice. Because they completely freaking redid his character throughout the Horus Heresy because authors are bad at writing this guy. So whatever. Bro, he's F tier. We know he's F tier for sure, right?
Best dad there is. In the yes.
Yeah.
So we're gonna put him at the bottom of F, are we? I remember my versus match. I still haven't recovered.
What did he tell Angron again that a ghost will have to do?
Yeah.
Is that sort of about how the line went?
Angron is an F tier dad because of this guy.
Yeah. And also he's like when he's reunited with Rabuta, he's just like, weapon, tool. Bleh. You're like, oh, what's going on with you, Emperor? Man.
What are you been up to?
Yeah. Enough said. Malcador's better though. Yes, he had like a human Eldar half-breed that he was tormenting in like his chambers, and every time he killed himself, he would like revive him and wipe his memories. But he got on well with Lehman. It's not all bad.
That's crazy.
Yeah,
this guy's a psychopath, good. Just like the Emperor.
He's in charge of like the Administratum and the Assassinorum. Nothing shifty about that. He founded the Knights Errant, so he's Loken and Garrow's best guy. He looked after. I say looked after. He told Endred Hart who to kill when he was in the thick of the fighting during the heresy, and he was just like, I don't like you. He's like, well, if you do as I say, like, fine. And that was Endred's story.
Malcador is the dad that stepped up.
He force choked Horus, which is pretty cool. You know, disciplining your children.
Yeah.
There's
disciplining your kids, and I think there's a forced joke.
Oh my gosh! Here at the highest. Oh my gosh! This guy is so generous too. He raised Alpharius, who ended up being a complete sociopath.
I just like how Thanquil was like, Andy cannot be allowed to have children. Don't worry, Thanquil. I've taken measures. Anyway, C tier?
Yeah, I guess.
Yeah.
Eldrad, Elfman.
I think where he is right now is perfect because I think he's gonna like Eldrad, the ultimate farce here, right? He's gonna figure out like the best way to plot your future like perfectly, except he's not going to tell you he's doing it, and he's also going to be a huge prick about how he goes about everything. So the path you are on with him as your dad is the route to your ultimate success. By God, is he going to be a smug prick about it when you get there? And also, there's like no actual input from him. He just goes, trust the plan. Trust the plan.
Yeah. I would say a bonus for him is he adopted a loyalist word. Well, I say a loyalist. He adopted a word bearer who wanted to assassinate Lorgar, which is pretty cool. But then he was like, I will like let you help me. The other option is the lava that's going to slowly like reach you on Nocturne and burn you alive is the alternative. So it's like, Barfu's is like, fine. Why not? I don't like Lorgar.
Or lava.
Whatever happens to Barfuza, he's in one paragraph of the end of death, and then we never hear from him. What? Okay, like fine.
He's chilling on Ulthway. He's just hanging out there.
Yeah.
Prince Uriel. Yes, he's fine, I think. I need to read Veildor, and I really want. I think he's in that. That's what I'm reading next.
Uriel.
Well, he's gonna come back at the perfect time in your life. You're not gonna see him until you're 25 years old. You're bankrupt and your life has ended. But then he comes back to save you at the last minute.
Credit rating is abysmal.
He comes back with like 10 winning lottery tickets and like a free spaceship for you to have.
Sounds pretty cool.
Yeah, but he's left you alone for the 25 years.
Yeah, he's also left you for like 25 years and also
10,000 here. 10,000.
You know, that's a good point. You know, yeah, I guess put him above Lorgar.
Yeah.
Look, there's definitely
Guilliman was like, I'm looking for a tree. I'm looking for an important tree. Like, fair enough, Lehman. That's fine. He's just like, I'm meditating.
I think, like I said earlier, Uriel is coming back, but he is absolutely the dad who's too busy to hang out with you because the office has hookers and blow because he's a pirate.
Can you explain this one to the?
That is Asuryan, and he is an F tier god.
I think it's supposed. I think it's supposed to be the Phoenix Lords. I think that was the idea.
I think I saw like briefly what the Google said that artwork. It was some like alternate heresy, and it's like that's the avatar of Asuryan. F tier. Put him like above. Put him at the top of F tier because like he's F tier in a real. You know, he's the king of the Eldar gods, right? So he's got to keep balance between a lot of, at the time, incredibly powerful deities. The problem is, his idea of balance is Isha coming up to him and going, hey, Kane's murdering all of my children. Because he is the father of the Eldar gods, or at least he's called that. And his response to Isha going, he's murdering my children, was to go, cry me a fucking river. And then she did.
Get good.
And then after he just separated the warp and the material. He's like, no, now no one gets to play. I'm taking my ball and I'm going home.
I'm taking my balls and they're mine alone.
And then when Isha had the audacity to complain about, hey, I'd like to see my kids, he said, hey, Kane, go have fun with her and Kurnos. Just torture them. This is fair.
Was being a Kane.
Kane is F tier as well.
Bottom of F tier.
Yeah, you have to kill yourself to get this guy to give you any attention in the first place.
Also, that's one
like,
heck of a pact.
He's the Eldar / elf god of war. The problem is the thing he loves killing the most is elves and Eldar.
To be honest, the way you said that, Eli, I like the idea of like, oh, I miss Dad. It's like, well, you know how to see him, and it's just like,
hands him a loaded gun.
Oh my gosh! We've got a few donations. I think we should read through them before we get into the Xenos weeds of it.
We read a few before. Colin, do you want to read a few?
Sure, I would be happy to. I keep going to like the stream side chat and I keep forgetting this is so much easier. Dante, thank you for the 2500 CLP. I misread the title, The Best Ditty in Warhammer. Oh no. My brain is rotten and Colin is Hansu's top guy.
Big.
No.
Big.
Wow.
Shark-born mind. The 5 Canadian.
That was a 4 mirror.
You were 6 inches in Teclis and had Moretti 6 inches in you. Would you move forward or backward? You ever see like a metronome?
Oh man.
I hope that answers your question.
Thank you for the 5.
How graphic.
Bunny Cop with the 5, arriving late, going back in time. But
I literally read that as gooning back in time. Oh my gosh. Sorry. Go on.
Oh my god. Go. He has a passing grade, but it's not a passing grade you're proud of. Yeah.
Fair. Thank you for the 5.
Nice.
Coffee grounds for snorting. Lorgar would come back. Thank you for the 10. Lorgar would come back with the milk in a church wafer, but this bird keeps knocking it out of his hand. Yeah, see, it's not his fault. Also, yes, the profile is different because he's the main character of the nearly written book.
Oh, cool. Thank you for the 10.
Would you like to read the next one, Eli? It's 3 more.
Serious Derp. Stubby47, thank you for the $2. Is the hive mind mommy or daddy? Either one. But the 4-armed emperor is your dad.
I suppose it'd be both.
Tom Warren, thank you for the $2.
I suppose the hive mind would be both, because if it's a hive mind, it's like everything that's a part of it, right?
Theoretically. Thank you for the $2, Tom. He deserves E tier for emperor, but that would be better than F.
True.
Thank Matter. Thank you for the $5. It's quite the profile picture. I wanted to share a message about Malathi trampling my nether regions, but YouTube's auto censor is a kink shaming lick spittle. Take 5 clams anyways. Holy cow! What a message. Thank you very much.
Wow.
Well, for what it's worth, I think trampling my nether regions might be the best thing I've read in a minute.
Louise. Thank you for the 2, Dawn Apocalypse. Kane, stick iron in your mouth and pull the trigger, literally.
Big iron in his mouth.
Thank you very much.
And then he absorbs you into him so that he can show up. That's the attention he gives you. Kane's a dick.
Oh gosh.
Necrons.
Silent King.
Bro went for the longest milk run in history. Bro went to get the milk for 60 million years.
After like making all of his people automatons.
At least he regretted it. At least he regretted it, and he destroyed the means to control all of his people.
Oh, I did a bit of like a kind of genocide.
He tried.
I feel sad. I feel so sad. Oh well.
He tried, but the way he tried
my cool chair.
The way he tried was literally making 40K as awful as it is.
That's the old one's fault. It's the old one's fault. Bro, the god of deception freaking convinced him to do. What are you gonna do? What are you gonna do?
Deception, looking like the sneakiest fucker you've ever seen. Like,
he's
obviously
not. He came back.
Eli,
he tried.
Like you just said, he went on a milk run so long that when he left, there were dinosaurs on Earth. I could find a T-Rex when he left.
I think he's not. I don't think he's bottom of F tier. I think that's kind of crazy. We're putting him below the guy who massacred his own children for fun. Like,
to be fair, they weren't Kane's kids.
Dude,
it's just
an entire species. Literally 99.
Oh, so yeah, there were Eldar left after Kane.
Yeah,
but the Silent King didn't do it on purpose. He didn't think they were gonna get their souls eaten. He didn't know. The guy named the Deceiver is actually pretty good at deceiving. What a surprise!
Why? Not being funny. Why would you give any credence to the man who calls himself?
He wasn't called that before. That's not the name he gave.
We didn't have dictionaries back then.
That's not the name he gave them.
It's more on the nose than Horus doing his heresy.
Oh my gosh, he had a different name. I actually have it written down somewhere.
Not names. They didn't have a name for him. They couldn't write down.
He was not known as the Deceiver when he came
from the dude.
And if you translate the glyphs, it's like El Deceivo. I wonder what that means.
Look, I could give him like maybe top of F tier, but not great.
I'm happy with top of F tier, I guess.
I mean,
he's better than Curze. Oh my gosh.
What?
He at least tried. He at least tried.
Curze was like rubbish to his sons, but that's like less than like 100,000 fatalities. This is like billions of people.
But it wasn't his fault.
Galaxy spanning. It doesn't matter if it's not. You didn't need it. You did it.
I think top.
You still
maybe behind. Maybe behind.
And
Asuryan.
Also, let's not forget he hasn't like when he was talking with what's his name, Mr. I'm a Scientist Necron. He was all like, "Hey, if you find a way to like reverse the Necron stuff, like keep it under your hat because I have a feeling if I reverse the Necrons back to what they were, I might be on the chopping block. So let's just keep them as they are." I'm just saying, not a good dad.
But that's probably just GW making sure that the setting doesn't advance too much.
But we have funny Dementia Man.
S tier dad if he remembers who you are.
Well, even if he doesn't, he's fun. He's
a great dad. He's a great buddy to Oberon. He's a great guy. He's a great guy. Sandrik's a great guy.
He's the guy who's still like, we're still fighting the Catan. What a good time. What's a human? There's no such thing.
Eli's quote is truly impressive. Whatever, whatever.
He's like, have a word as original. I'm having a great time. Have you met Angron? He's massive. So I like him. He's fun. Even in the Twice Did King books, he has a brief cameo. It's just like, he's just taking the piss out of the other lords and they don't like him because he's a bit of a shit stirrer. But that's fun. Hive Mind.
S tier. Forum Emperor is my best dad ever.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The four-armed emperor who says, "Hey, yeah, this is the new god. You should worship him." And then the gods show up, and then he goes, "By the way, I lied. You're getting eaten."
I mean, you get to join on the holy pilgrimage. You know, what more?
All right, yeah, fine. If that's gonna be an S tier, I've got a hell of an S tier argument coming up later. Fine. That's fine.
To be fair, if he's your dad, you're rating him S tier. You don't really like.
I'm not your dad. We're all dad together. That's the hive mind. And bear in mind, if it is true that the Tyranids are in control of everything outside the Milky Way, most prolific dad there is. That's a lot of kids. How does he even keep them under control? Get him busy and keeping them under control. That's a big
and if you're a Tyranid and he's your dad, if you're actually a real Tyranid, you get to just live forever, basically. Get to be Swarm Lord guy and have your consciousness uploaded to the hive mind, basically.
And again, I like the idea of like the family tree. It would usually be like humongous, but then it's just like just like you were in this family tree, now you're in the family stump.
Eli's a gene stealer, correct?
Gazgul. To be fair, he loves what's his name, the little guy,
Makari.
He loves him so much.
So I can't comment.
Here's my thing: are we gonna like going forward for like a lot of the non-humans and like non-human adjacent? Are we judging them based on like people dad standards or like their race dad standards? Because if it's by their race, Gazgul's the top of this list.
Yeah, I think. Because I recently read like a thing where it was part of his book, and he speaks really properly because he's like, I just got decapitated by Ragnar Blackmane and it sucked. But who will look after Makari? I love him so much. I'm like, oh, good dad. Good dad.
Also, like, again, dad. Like by orc standards, he gives everyone what they want. A fight.
Yeah.
That's it.
Pretty real.
Dad. Green dad for number one.
I think Farsight's also S tier.
I don't know. I don't know if Farsight would be a great dad.
Look, the Farsight enclaves, he adopts you from an abusive household and gives you a better place to live.
It's true. It's true.
I'm sure, like, he doesn't let you go through too many walks in the neighborhood, but that's because the neighborhood of 40k sucks ass.
However, he also gives you the 40k equivalent of like an AK-47 and goes, do your part. Come with me, child soldier. Like, oh, okay, we're doing that now?
All right, well...
Okay.
Yeah, but if we're going by that logic, he at least waits till you're like, a teenager, as opposed to Big E down there. He's like, oh, you've been born? Here you go.
He'd be an okay dad.
You're born in AK-47.
He'd be the dad who's nice all the time.
You are the AK-47.
He's really nice all the time, but if you get him angry, then he'll like kill you, basically. Not kill you because he's Farsight, he's not a Primarch, but he gets mad. He gets real angry.
He gets angry.
And if he finds the wrong secret about your government, he's gonna disappear for 50 years, and then
maybe not.
Well.
I want to say he's better than Lorgar because at least he's like
he'd be okay. I don't know if he's great though.
Well, I have a feeling what you're going to say, Eli.
Anshi, S tier, surely. S tier all the way. I love you, Anshi.
Huh?
Why? Could you explain, please? Because he does seem pretty chill.
He's a nice guy. He even helps Farsight. He doesn't use the ethereal mind control stuff. And he leaves by. There's not a lot of lore on him, to be fair, but
he works out.
He's like the only nice ethereal who ever gets good things said about him.
I was thinking. What is the other one?
Anshi is still trash. He's next. She's baiting.
Anvar's next.
She's baiting. Anvar S tier, top of S tier. Nothing. He's never done anything wrong.
No, he's gone. He doesn't matter.
Immediately after saying this one's the only ethereal that doesn't use mind control. Yeah, the other one who.
Every time I'm around him, I think he's great. I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know why. And also, like, it kind of smells a little bit weird, but that's not influencing the thoughts.
He's the master of the freaking undying spirit, bro. It's pretty awesome.
That's pretty crazy.
He's a cool hologram. He's a cool hologram.
If we're giving him credit for the title, yeah, that goes hard as hell. But
I like that. Just like, I'm in charge of the undying spirit. Ever saw.
You know what? If it wasn't for Phil Kelly, every ethereal would be an S tier father, and it would be the great father of our Tau, of our glorious Tau race. Glory to the CPP.
A big mark against Anvar is also that because he put himself in such a position of like, you can't do without me. Now his species is doomed to be like, we don't even know he's gone, and we're still following him. And when they find out, They're not going to be
a
too happy.
healthcare CEO.
Probably gonna be some problems.
Trust the Canadians like the literal mind control factions.
Yeah.
Yeah, the Everstore actually had deny, defend, oppose on the clause.
Oh my gosh.
Huron Blackheart.
I think he should go where no, actually not. Maybe he's kind of. I was gonna say he should go where Horus is, but he's also kind of like. He's not.
Dick.
Yeah, he was kind of a jerk from the start. Luft Huron was not a great guy. He only has Imperial armor lore for the most part. But he wasn't a great guy, and now he's not a great guy either. So
no, and he's not too bothered about like killing his men if he wins.
Yeah.
So yeah, he's just bitter. Look at him.
Phil Kelly made it his
hygiene.
Phil Kelly made it his mission to annihilate a Xenos faction. He succeeded very well. Honestly, he peeks at you when you're in the toilet. What are you talking about? Oh my gosh.
Moving on. Abaddon, as some people call him, but his real name's Abaddon.
Probably F.
Yeah.
It's been freaking years since I've read the Black Legion book.
Although I will say,
the Chaos guy.
He also is like the best stepdad for Chaos, to be fair.
Yeah. He's the dad who stepped up. He's the dad who stepped up.
Yeah, he is the dad. Put him up a bit.
I'm not the dad you wanted, but I'm the one you need.
I think he'd encourage hobbies, right? He's got his little like brewery hobby, doesn't he?
Yeah.
Which granted, he brews like demon souls and engine fuel, but Space Marines, you got to do a lot of work to get past all those augmentations.
And he like moonlights as like an Elden Ring character because he kills like gigantic beasts and goes like, look at that thing, killed that.
Awesome. I feel like he deserves an okay rating. It's been so freaking long since I've read his books. I can't remember.
His whole thing is like, hey, don't follow me blindly. Here's some incentives. And as long as you don't stab me back, we're cool. But if you do stab me in the back, I'm going to get you.
You're getting obliterated.
You're in trouble. Yeah. Also, I can't even tell. Chaos is cringe, but it's not too cringe. It's just like this much cringe. So I'll tolerate it up to here. And then I'm like, no more chaos for me. I've had enough. I know my tolerance. I know my limit.
Helbrecht is F tier. I'm gonna say it.
He's not. I've only read a couple stories with him.
Look, we talked about. You said like Dorn, with the iron cage. He's like, all right, kids, come on, let's go charge the fortified gun emplacement.
Yeah.
all of the bits of Dorn that made him do that is all of Helbrecht.
True
that's where all the angry Dorn went.
Although he did a good job with Grimaldus. He's like, hey, rather than putting you in the front lines where you want to fight, I'm going to give you a teaching moment where I'm like, I'm going to put you on this little part of the planet of Hell's Reach where it's going to suck, but you're going to like learn how to like not be so nihilistic and expect to die, and maybe look after the men under your command and do all these things. He's like,
Grimaldus, you won't go to the front lines because I told you so. But I'm cool and I'm going to go fight the Stormlord. Whoops, where's my hand?
Like, yep, Helbrecht's okay. He's not the best.
I guess put him up to D then, but and he's still all of the angry Dorn again. All of the go charge the iron cage genes are in any Black Templar.
Yeah.
Marneus Calgar.
Papa Smurf has got to be in the
top of S tier for anything. Marneus Calgar is always top of S tier in every list he will ever be in.
Matt Ward was so right. He's so right. He's the spiritual liege. I love him.
He's so real. Top of S tier.
I'm just saying, like, I can't help but notice that of every character on this list, he's like one of 3 with a really kick-ass video game entrance.
Yeah.
Dude's firing out the back of a Space Marine dropship. I forgot the name. Stormhawk? Thunderhawk?
Lord Calgar, brief me. It's like, okay, Dad, let's go.
Dude, S tier, come on.
Whichever one is the smaller one. One of those is really big, one of them is really small.
And that bit was just like, I hate the Inquisition. Oh, I was so angry. Oh, get up. Okay, Dad.
Good dad. Good dad.
Good dad. Dante. The good dad. We're all Death Company now.
Again, I'm not a Blood Angels guy.
Look, I feel like Dante would be top of C because I think he would try. He does keep trying. You always are going to get the feeling he does not want to be in the position he's in. He will try and be a good dad. He does not want to be here. He does not ask for this.
know what? Last month I finished all my videos on like Blood Angels characters. I've done them all, and it's alarming how often it's like this character was a captain in the Blood Angels, groomed to be the new chapter master, and then something bad happened, and Dante's just there like, Eli, you know that bit in Lord of the Rings where it's like King Theoden, like he's like waking up and he's like, your son's gone.
Yeah.
It's like that every few years for Dante's like, when will someone succeed me? I'm so tired. Even his own dad, Sanguinius, is like, not today. You got another 100 years in you at least. He's like, please let me go. No. I think he's pretty great. He does a lot of good stuff for his sons. Again, he's very understand. Like even Sergeant Raffin and his omnibus. Although Mephiston's not on this list, he's actually a pretty good dad as well because he looks after Raffin. I'd say he's pretty good, but he doesn't really have like many dad moments. He's more like granddad, like all the Blood Angels going, when am I going to get my inheritance? Like, not now. Give it a bit. Give it another 20 years.
If there's one man who's greater than Marneus Calgar, it is this man, and only this man.
Khaldor Drago.
This is the avatar of Matt Ward, and he succeeds in all things always.
Well, although if we're going by dad criteria, he's like always on. He's always disappearing on his sons.
Unless you really need him.
Vacation.
Unless you really need him, and then he'll show up at the perfect time.
Hello, it's me, Khaldor Drago.
Vanish right back.
Is that Thorn?
He's fighting,
and then he's off.
He's fighting all of hell for the safety of his children. How about that?
He's pretty badass in Chaos Gate as well, to be fair. He's like,
he's pretty badass at everything.
Stay with me in hell.
He's Matt Ward's greatest. He's Matt Ward's top guy.
He is pretty cool. But is he cooler than Marneus Calgar?
Well, he is the coolest.
No.
I love Khaldor Drago.
Is he though?
No.
No. I gotta be honest. I'm gonna put him here.
Supremacy.
Have you ever had
Smurf supremacy?
And now we have Pedro Can, where everyone else Cantor. It's Pedro Cantor.
He's a goat.
I don't know, man.
You've read more Crimson Fist lore than us, Andy. I know that.
He saved he saved a mother and her kids when Rin's world was falling, and he like picked them up and carried the lady, and she was all like, I'm exhausted, and he's like, I'll carry you instead. Pretty good criteria. I want to put him in A. Pretty great.
Okay. I'm not gonna. I like him from what I know, so I'm not gonna argue.
When are we gonna get Primaris Pedro Cantor? What's going on?
Gabriel Seth is another goat.
Gabriel Seth is funny. He's so angry all the time. He's like Jason Statham. He's great. He's trying his best to lead his kids, is he not? He's tried pretty hard. To be fair, he is. Anytime any one of the Flesh Terrors gets in hot water, he is always like, "No, you're stupid. I hate you. You're stupid. No, you're dumb. Leave him alone. He's my kid. Oh, kick." Like that's Seth all the time. Even to Dante, he's like, "You're stupid, and you have long hair, and you're a wimp," and it's like, calm down. Like, we get your whole thing as being angry.
He'll go beat up the 5-year-old kid who pushed his kid into a locker. He'll go beat up that kid who brushed past and accidentally knocked their shit. What did you do? Yeah, he's very overzealous, but that's why we love him, because he's good fun. Even though when he sees Primaris, he's like, I hate you all. You're not my friends. Good man.
Yeah. They didn't earn it.
And there's a whole bit where he's like, I know where your name comes from. You look a bit soft. And he like fights him. He's like, you're rubbish. But then he's at the end like, maybe you'll be all right, but I still think you need to prove yourself. It's like, oh. And all the Flesh Terrors who are assigned to him is like, well, we don't want to be here either. We wanted to be Blood Angels. Like, yeah, fair enough. But he's endearing. Belisarius Cawl. This guy made a lot of babies, Primaris babies.
If you're his kid, you're his science experiment.
Yes.
Hello.
Look, I'm saying I'd put him in S tier, but that's because I would willingly like chop off all of my bits to become a tech priest. So I'm perhaps
to be
biased.
fair,
he's not going to be
sweet in his Well, the thing is, in the end of the Fabius Bile book, where it's him and Fabius
Spoilers.
Clone Fathers, there's like, I won't say much, but there's like there's lots of interactions with him and Alpha Primus, and you can tell he cares. Like, even though he's like, you're like the template, and
yeah,
a science thing, he's also like, well, I do love you because you're kind of like my son. If your dad was a big beetle.
Interesting.
It's like, yeah,
interesting. I finally got the last Fabius Bile book to listen to.
It's good.
I'm reading through Lucius again.
Like, also,
and listening to that.
Like, statistically speaking, right, with all the people whose like personalities he's downloaded, one of them has to be a good parent.
True.
Yeah, and it's funny that he has like an AI clone of Guilliman's brain, and occasionally he just bickers with it, and it's like, does Guilliman know I exist? Like, don't worry about it. Great dad.
He also gave one of those to one of them to Guilliman of himself, didn't he? Like, Guilliman's got a mini call too.
Yeah, it's good fun.
Mr. Gaunt.
Gaunt is S tier because he's not of Tanith, but he's like literally saved everyone from Tanith from death who's still alive.
Yeah,
he's a really good bloke.
Pretty good.
I want to put him like, probably there. I haven't gone through all of his books because there's tons, but he's good. Kane would be irresponsible as dad.
No. You put Kane in S tier right now. Kane.
All right, can you explain?
When the Valhallan 597th, he was the fucking dad of that regiment. Like, he put it together and got them to stop killing each other so well that the next biggest problem and then stopped being our regiment is about like to civil war. The problem of that was now our regiment is getting along too well, and you keep having children on campaign. And when that would happen, Kane would then be the regiment nanny. Kane is the dad who stepped up.
Yeah, but he's also the kind of guy who I would expect to have a couple kids across the galaxy that he'll never meet.
To be fair, I agree with you that I should put him ST. Occasionally, I just like to like poke the bear.
He's like as when he retired, he would go on to teach commissars how to be commissars. Except because he's Kane, he would actually be like, no. The bolter is like the last resort. No, you don't want to shoot your own men. That's a very bad idea.
I feel like Kane would be the kind of teacher who goes like, what's the homework assignment? It's stupid. Let's not do homework this week. Yay!
Yeah, but like the lessons you do need, he's given you to them. Like, he's given you the good lessons.
Yeah. Last of the commissars.
How would have things to say about Yarrick?
I don't know.
How's our resident Yarrick guy?
The Yarrick guy is not here.
I think the thing is, he had a dad, and his dad was like, the planet's dying, hide in the bushes, you'll be fine. Mm-hmm. So he was taught how to be like, his dad was good, but he's, I think, too obsessed with Ghazghkull to like think of anything other than, I need to kill Ghazghkull. So I don't think he would be a good parent. He'd probably like have some knock-on effect with his own dad, who was like a retired Astromilitarum officer, which is wild. Like, you get to retire, apparently. So yeah, I feel like but I wouldn't put him any higher or low. I feel like he'd be good, but he'd never have time for you because he's more a grandpappy than a daddy. Oh, here we go, Colin. I'm just going to put him up here. Should I?
Do you need me to even bother talking? Like, do you want me to open my mouth?
Just go on, open your mouth, go on.
It's Karl Franz.
See what happens.
He's the dad of the Empire. He's the dad of an actual family. He's a good dad. He's a good man, good boy.
Can't argue with that.
Right, Colin, Luen, S tier.
Dude, like, just delete the image from the list.
Luen Leon Kerr is a great guy. Canonically, a great guy.
Them against each other.
Who's Malabad? Who's Malabad? Nobody say it. Eli, you want to talk about his vampire son who killed him? Anything you have to say about this?
Is this end time stuff? I don't want to talk about end time stuff.
Yeah. What about it? It's crazy. It's crazy. What happened with Malekith?
End time's not real. End time's not real.
End times isn't real, but when Malekith is the true Phoenix King, it's real. That's crazy.
Well, you know.
That's crazy. That's crazy.
Oh my gosh, Louis Leon Kerr takes the time whenever he has time to listen to all of his subjects, no matter their station. He's a wonderful fellow.
Factually
he's a holy and
incorrect.
good fellow. Oh my gosh.
So Bob,
End times are not real.
You know what you're doing. You put him. Get that out of there. No.
Yeah, big. So weird for that.
You get him out of there.
Where am I putting him?
If I knew more fantasy lore, I would. Okay, yeah. Calm down. He's a great guy. He's
Yeah?
He's an S tier.
I will give him. He did have a cool moment where he helped mentor Karl Franz a bit in the campaign for him to become the emperor. I'll give him that.
Karl Franz?
No, that is not what that means.
Where do I put him then?
Just put him up there.
Fine.
Wow, huge.
Yeah. So.
Hey, he was fine in S tier. Okay.
Was it too late to get a last minute addition?
Who do you want?
Gotrek.
Oh, is he a dad?
He what? Well.
I mean, I guess it's theoretically like he could be a dad.
No, he's a dad. Unfortunately, it's not.
Wow.
It's past tense.
Is it a sad one?
Yeah.
Is this a Snorri incident? Snorri no have kids no more.
Boy, I don't want to spoilers, but
there's no way Gotrek is an S tier dad.
Dude, Gotrek was a great dad. There's a reason he's a slayer. And it wasn't because he killed his kids.
Because he
was a great dad. But now that he's a slayer, I don't think he'd be your dad's trying to die all the time.
In Age of Sigmar, he rescued a human child, and when his other companions found him, he was sitting there gently rocking it and talking to the baby.
Mm-hmm. He has no time to actually be your dad, though. He's got to go find his glorious death.
Yeah, but for all the children he did have and the baby he rescued, he was great.
Yeah, for like 5 seconds. Then he has to move on.
For his actual kid, it was like years.
Okay, but that's not happening. That's not the same Gotrek anymore. He's not. He can't be a parent
with Yarrick
because he was a good dad.
He was. Fulgrim was a good dad too, and he's not anymore. Crazy.
Was he though?
Yeah, but Gotrek mid-adventure is like paused, like, nope, there's a baby. I need to take care of the baby.
All right. I'm sure this is what the chat's thinking. That's going in the book.
Imagine your dad putting you in a book of grudges, bro. Like,
oh, he would never do that because Thorgrim's like, yeah, he was nice to. Yes, he was great to Cat.
Like,
Gotrek is great with children. That is such a. All right, well, that's. We'll avoid some spoiler stuff. Gotrek is without fault great to every child like they come across.
I believe it.
He's like he calls them little one. He's calm and gentle. He doesn't headbutt them to death.
But he can't be your dad. He doesn't have time to be somebody's dad.
Anyway,
kill you.
Oh my gosh.
Fulgrim, Peppa Pig dad. Where's he going? Wherever we put him, we're going in the book.
Yeah.
We might as well get him over with.
You cannot be a good dad if you're putting your kids' names in the Book of Grudges, bro. And he totally would.
Only if they.
He totally would.
If they do bad things.
Not. Thorgrim is a reasonable dwarf king.
Did you take out the trash? No, that's going in the book. Like that every weekend.
Keep him there. Keep him there. He's fine.
Keep him there.
He's dude. S tier for the next one. Come on.
Oh my gosh.
This guy, are you sure? Are you sure?
Yes, dude. Nagash
I feel like these guys,
judgment.
The people that he controls in magic don't even like him.
Nagash is perfect and in all ways, and his judgment is reasonable, and he's never done anything wrong.
Are you sure? He looks kind of sketchy to me.
No,
I don't see no flesh on those bones.
He's
got a big hat.
Top guy. Nagash needs me to win the war.
All right, Eli. As from a purely impartial perspective, who's worse as a dad, Nagash or the Emperor?
It's probably Nagash. Nagash is pure evil. The Emperor is evil, but he has something left in him.
More evil than Kane?
Oh, Nagash.
I think so.
Come on, what are you doing?
You're being silly because we've been talking about Warhammer Fantasy. Ever chosen Archaon.
He's the guy I played in Total War.
Budget Abaddon.
All right. Well, now I'm gonna fight you.
Why?
It's curious.
Why?
Curious
what
how curious, Sandy. Which one of these won? Which one of these two characters won?
Game's still on. Game's not finished yet.
What do you mean the game's
at halftime?
Well, one of them's won. The other still has not won. It's kind of the point.
Yeah, but like if like his World Series and it's like 20 years ago this guy won and he got like the records, like game's still going pretty strong. He's already getting he's maybe gonna get like even more wins. Oh, high score. Still going.
It's taken Abaddon like what 10,000 years, dude. Archaon did in like 20 tops. I don't know how long the end times was. That was like 5 minutes.
A million planets.
Yeah, it's just one. It's just one.
Anyway,
yeah, one planet filled with a guy who makes the chaos gods afraid.
Is he a good dad though? Is he daddy?
I do not think he's a good dad. No, I do not think.
Okay, how bad is he as dad? Could this guy even get laid and have a kid, or is he too edgy?
I mean,
what's going on with this guy?
In the realm of like theory, since Nagash is for some reason theoretically not the top of S tier, I think he'd go right above this clearly biased and incorrect judgment of Nagash, right behind Kane.
Fair.
Okay. Manfred.
He's in bottom of F, bro.
Bro, come on. No need to discuss any further.
I like how it's just like quite clearly the worst human being, the worst being in existence. It's like nerd. It's like not only is he annoying, but he's kind of like that annoying where you're like, he's got such a punchable face, and that's the only reason why he's lower.
But Nagash, whenever he shows up, he always gives us more Warhammer. Manfred removed the amount of Warhammer.
That's a good calculation, to be fair. Vlad.
S tier dad.
Vlad.
S tier.
So goated.
No, he's top of A tier. Eli, you cannot tell me the person who created Conrad von Karstein is perfect.
Well, in his defense, it's not none of those kids were actually his kids. They were just the dudes who were loyal to him.
None of the Space Marines are their kids.
Oh, yeah. They're more close to their kids than Vlad is a father.
No, they're not. Guys. Vlad turned them into vampires.
Yeah, but the Space Marines are made out of the same genetic makeup as the Primarch.
So is the Blood Kiss. It's their fucking blood.
Yeah, okay, yeah, but the people who were still born without any of Vlad's genetics.
They were born without Guilliman's genetics or any of their genetics.
But now they have it.
See,
now they have Vlad. What the fuck was that? Someone else is yelling. Clearly, you're wrong. A tier. Look, Vlad's great.
Your family are joining in. They can hear what's going on.
Like, in all other ways, Vlad's an S tier. I'm here for Vlad. If this was a husband tier list, top of S tier. That's it.
True.
It's Vlad.
Fair.
Obviously, only behind Nagash.
All I'm saying is he's got the best term, Vladdy Daddy, which we've said before. So does Vladdy Daddy deserve to be top of A or in S?
Put him bottom of S.
Huge.
Vladdy
Put him above low. Put him above.
I knew you would say that. No, don't do it, Eddie. No.
Okay. Techless.
Look. Never ask a man his salary, a woman her age, and Techless what he tried to do to the Idanet Deepkin.
All right. Okay.
Which was kill all of them.
Oh, okay. Eli, what's your opinion on the Idanet Deepkin?
I have none. I don't know any Age of Sigmar lore.
Then it's acceptable. We won't hold that against him.
Look, you leave my husband alone.
Not a great guy.
Get away from my husband.
I love him.
Is he a good dad?
No. No.
Why?
A good dad doesn't bring children into the world and go, "Oh, you're all wrong. I need to get rid of you."
So,
but
bad.
He might have did exactly that, word for word.
That sounds pretty bad. I feel like he's got to go here or somewhere. That sounds.
But
really
he also
bad.
made the Lumineth, and he teaches them. So round 2, we figured it out. Put him in C tier. Come on, put him above Eldrad. Come on.
Wow, above Eldrad.
Eli,
I don't know enough Sigmar stuff, bro. I wish I could tell you.
I'm just saying, like,
well, how about this? From fantasy, there was a bit where he was like helping a bunch of humans through Lustria, and he was like, you know what? The rest of the elves would look down on you, but I don't, because I'm also looked down by elves. You know what? I relate. I feel you, humans. Just don't worry about Age of Sigmar lore.
Is that a dad
Don't worry
thing?
about what he did in Age of Sigmar, and Teclis can be fine.
All right, I'm not going to press this further. I'm too excited about.
He goes right there with Ghazghkull, surely.
No, he goes in A, top of A, because again, if we're judging by how he is amongst orcs, like, look, Grimgor is going to lead you to the fight, but Ghazghkull, like, he understands. Sometimes there's no fighting today, and it sucks, but that has to happen. Grimgor goes a day without fighting, and then like Roths just kind of start dying. Grimgor goes 2 days without fighting. Anyone just randomly in arm's reach starts dying. We've never gone to 3 days because they will find him a fight. No one wants to know what 3-day fightless Grimgor Ironhide looks like. It'd be bad. So, A tier. Yeah. He's giving him the fight. It's not great if he doesn't get that fight.
It's gold
great.
Tooth.
Unless Greasus.
I don't know. He ate his dad. I don't know how that factors in.
Well, that was his. He didn't eat his son. I think that's okay. I think that's a pass.
I don't know.
Right?
I am not versed in the realm of ogres, unfortunately.
I mean, if he was a
fantasy
bad guy, maybe that's a good thing.
He's gonna throw a great feast.
Mm-hmm. You're always gonna be well fed.
Dude, like, come on.
Kids like to eat
He's
food.
Like one of 2 Warhammer characters who's got a song.
Yeah.
And the other is Luthor Harkon, who unfortunately is not making an appearance today. But that's
who's the guy in chat who was talking about Luthor Harkon like every stream?
Explore.
No.
I will never forget.
Wherever you are, Explore, we need you.
To be fair, I feel like Greasus, if ever you were like taking a long drive somewhere and then you had to go to a pit stop and it's like, are we getting McDonald's? Like, of course we're getting fast food. Of course, every time we get the chance. And
getting the
like,
entire gas station.
10 of everything on the menu.
Yes. We are filling the car with food, and that's good. I think that's quite good. That's a good quality to have. I want to put him like an S because, like, I feel like you'll never be badly fed.
Unbelievable that the ogre fat funny thing is above Gotrek. This is absurd.
Well,
unbelievable.
Hold on a second. Hear me out. He's in charge of a faction, which Gotrek isn't. You'll be well fed. And he doesn't seem to have a malicious.
So is the Silent King. So is Nagash. Nagash is in charge of like 4 factions.
Yeah, but
and an overall alliance of factions.
But the thing is, Nagash nor Sarek, none of their people have like a digestive tract, so you can't feed them, and they're not having a good time. At least with like Greasus, it's like, look, you'll be well fed. He doesn't really have a malicious bone in his body. He's just like, I'll do what I have to do to rule. I'll eat my dad if I have to, because he's a bit of a dick. But he doesn't seem like a bad guy. He's just, I like eating. Hey, son, do you want to go get some, like burgers? Great dad.
Insane. This is insane.
Great dad.
Calling a press on the tier list once again.
I don't know. It seems like a good idea to me. I'll put it lower if you
I've been different. It's funny that it makes Colin mad.
Insane. Tier placement
right
here.
Krokgar?
Lizards. Krokgar.
I sure wish I knew any of the lore around these fantasy characters.
I see the problem with Lizardmen.
The final defender.
Like they don't technically have gender because they just walk out of a pool like fully formed as adults. That's it. That's how Lizardmen are made. They walk out of a pool. There's no gender. I know they're called Lizardmen. There's no dangly bits. They're biologically like nothing.
I've never seen a lizard woman. Edge points
they don't exist.
But is he good? Like,
I mean, he like went absolutely berserk when Skrulk killed his pet dinosaur.
That sounds like a dad
so like
thing to
he
do.
cares. Yeah, he cares.
Yeah.
That's otherwise like.
Should we just put him next to?
You know how Space Marines. Yeah. Space Marines, right? Like they are all brainwashed child soldiers, but they still manage to sometimes have another personality trait.
Yeah.
The Lizardmen are that, except they were never a human being before becoming Space Marines. And they don't really have anything going on after them, except maybe some of the slot.
So what you're saying, the thing that binds the Space Marines and the Lizardmen is you can always kiss your homies on the cheek, and that's fine. That sounds good. Moving on.
You know what?
What's this?
If you want to get kissed by that roaring mouth of teeth, go nuts.
Is this supposed to be the great?
That's
one?
Kurnos.
Okay.
No, that's Kurnos.
Yeah,
I see.
It's a
Vela. He's a pretty good. He's a good dad.
God of the hunt.
When Asuryan,
you asked me specifically to add him, so I don't know who this is.
That's Kurnos, who is the father of the Eldar race and the Elf race, alongside Isha, who's the mother of the Eldar and Elf race.
This guy's a literal dad.
And you know, when he literally is a dad, and when like Asuryan said, "I'm taking my ball and going home. No more talking to your kids," he would do it anyway because he accepts he accepted he could have been punished, but he went to talk to his kids. I think he's a good dad. I think he's a very good dad, and endured, because it's warp time. It could have been infinite years of torture under Kane. You talk to his kids. I think Kurnos is a good dad. I think Kurnos is a very good dad.
Works for me. It's S tier. Sounds like.
Look, I think everything you could possibly find about like bad things that happened from Kurnos is other people's fault for being the worst. Like Kane.
Okay.
Every bad thing that happened.
Caldor Drago, surely.
Bro, nobody's better than
Caldor
Drago.
You are insane.
Where should be then? Like.
Also, like he in fantasy, he's actively with the Wood Elves every year with Orion. It's the Avatar of Kurnos. He's hanging out with them. Come on.
So should he be higher?
I mean, no, I don't know if I can put him above Vulkan. But like, he's doing good work. He's a good dad. He's a good dad.
He's doing it good with his loincloth.
Is this Thankwall himself?
Yeah, S tier. Put him above Gaspol. Come on.
Fanquil has been asking to be on the podcast for ages, so here you go, Fanquil.
Oh my god, that's crazy. He's
so
S
Eli,
tier,
what's going
best
on?
rat.
Eli, I think we need some mediation here because Colin's having
he's probably worse than Manfred. Let's be real.
No,
he's the worst dad ever.
Okay,
this is a biased list. The gas should be top of the list again. Thankful should be second.
Can you explain why, Eli? I don't know
what's
going on.
He's gonna send you out to die. He's gonna create you, and then your whole point of existing is to protect him until you die. Look, and then if you fail, if he messes up, he's gonna blame you for everything.
Well, because it's clearly your fault. Thankful is the perfect leader. If anything goes wrong, it is clearly your fault, not Thankwill's. Thankful loves every of the thousands of bone rippers that have been created that died for him.
So he's
half
a good
of
dad.
which were probably
he's not a good dad.
No,
isn't he?
Come on.
I'm so confused.
One
of you say
he's terrible.
He should be here, and one of you saying he should be here. I don't know what to do.
We'll teach you about time-honored Skaven traditions and sayings such as shooting the messenger, and that there's more than one ways to skin an infant.
That's pretty good.
Verbatim word from Thankful. Thankful will teach you life messages, and he probably has access to the Skaven breeding bits.
Do we even have Thankful in the chat anymore? I don't even see him.
I think he might be gone. But I do have a compelling counter argument. If you misspell it, Banquil starts with an F. But F tier.
What? 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 What the heck?
I nearly just kind of ruined everything ever because I was about to make fun of Jaghatai Khan for that. And then, thank God the neuron fired on what that would be. Because that would have been Colin's done being ever on anything ever.
Oh,
so Fanquil with an F. Is that okay? Is this the tier?
Okay.
I hate you. Put him above Nagash. Actually, no. Nagash is obviously, as I said, top of S tier.
Manfred. There we go.
Yeah, there we go. Put him above Manfred.
There we go.
I'd rather get
raised by
Manfred
than
honestly, I think I would rather be raised by Manfred than Thankful.
I must admit, looking at the comments, this is my favorite document. Andy, I better have
Can I honorable mention Tyrion like S tier uncle?
Okay.
Yeah.
If for no other reason, it was like, hey, Teclis, stop murdering your kids, you ass.
I mean, to be fair, I think this would be a very different list if it was uncles, because there's so many. It would be like Leon would be a good uncle.
Even
so many are like popping off. We got to do
like you take the responsibility away, it becomes way more like S tier.
That is like any like good lessons they impart on you is like just a bonus.
Yeah.
Like your dad should have been doing this, but he's not, Seth.
I just like the idea of you go to like a diner and then like, oh, Uncle Seth's joining. He's like, Uncle Seth. Oh God, he's gonna get in a fight. It'll be amazing.
Dude, thank God Sigmar's not on this list.
Oh yeah.
Like he might have sexed his way across the Proto Empire and done nothing for any of it. That is how he got at least one of the tribes of men into the Empire.
Oh.
Well, that was our list, everyone. Before we go, we do have some donations to read.
Thank you very much, guys.
Gotrek S or no, Nagash S tier, as he always is. He is perfect.
All right. Galactic Stir Bar. Thank you for the $5. Trazen has more children, victims of the gallery, than most people on this list. Real and true.
Oof.
And he takes real good care of them too. Coleman, thank you for the 5. Just got here. I'm throwing Nagash into the ring as the daddy of vampires. Real. He's easily the worst in any Warhammer setting. Wow. Thought you were going to say something nice about him. Akliak, thank you for the 50 check monies, I think. Lickspittle and Marathi are words that are unsafe to say in the same sentence when Colin is around.
All right, well, I need to look this word up because I don't. All right. Well,
it's
never
very
mind.
old
Yeah,
English.
no, that tracks. Never mind. Nope, you're right. Continue.
Nope. Would you like to read a couple of
spittle?
Okay. Okay.
Oh, this is the one that, dude, huge dono.
Yes.
Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Fiery Joe. I'm hoping that was roughly correct. Happy to finally catch up to a live Lorecrimes stream again. Always glad to see you guys. Glad to see you, man. But just as a side note, I recently dived into AOS and I realized it's actually a really great setting, you guys.
Colin's winning. And that's 10 Swiss francs, which is 1 trillion Canadian dollars. So
wow,
thank you very much.
Which is in real money, I believe he said $1.06 US dollars. So that's like $10.60.
Think of how much maple syrup you could buy.
Yeah, I know math. I can do math. Dude, I took one math class in college. I think, have I said this before? The teacher walked in first day, drew a square on the board, said, "This is a square." And I knew in that instant I was home. I was where I belong.
Age of Empires 2 is a game about empire. Same energy.
It's like, dude, it's so real.
Would you like to read a couple more, Colin? I'll get the last ones.
Sure. Non-dormant, $5. Thank you. Hey, I need help. How do I start painting an army? I've never done it before, and the models are all nice, but I'm dog at painting and art in general. Well, a primer can. Admittedly, you can't do it when it's cold because it'll ruin it. But a can of primer spray paint will take you so goddamn far.
Yep. Sign up for a tournament that requires the minimum 3 colors on your army, and then stress paint it 5 days before.
No, don't do that. Do not do that. You're gonna hate your life. Look, Joe, go to just find Duncan Rhodes videos and just try to do what he does.
Yeah, unironically,
you're not Duncan Rhodes.
The official Warhammer tutorials are usually expensive because they have like 10 paints for 1 mini, but they always work. They do actually always work. Yeah.
Yeah.
All right.
Donkey Man USA, $5. Hey, Colin, Snorri wants more beer. Yeah, Snorri would be a great uncle. Never ask Snorri what happened to Gotrik's kid. Why do we refer to Gotrik's family in past tense? Don't worry about it. Don't worry about it. Don't worry about it. And Uncle Snorri's fun. Don't worry about it.
Oh, wait.
There's a couple more Colin.
I don't want to read this one.
I think you have to. Because we'll feel bad if we do.
Akliak for the 50 CZK.
Thank you.
Colin's forehead so big it houses an Astartes chapter called the Face Marines. At least you apologize. Sorry, accepted. Also, belated hi, doggy. I can pet them later for you.
Hey, doggy.
Why did you say fuck you? Romulus, thank you for the 10. Grimgor after 3 days without a fight is like Colin after 3 days not gooning to Manfred. Manfred. Sweaty, irritable, and an uncomfortable sight. Seriously, Colin, why Manfred of all people? Crazy. Well, you see, look, I set up a projector, and Manfred's head is so big and bald that you just project Morathi onto it, and there you go.
I see. I'll get these ones. Tom Warren for $5 dues. I'm pretty sure if you looked hard enough, you could find some pics of lizard women models on the interwebs. Probably. Another one from Akliak. Their work over there at GW, they're renaming Manfred von Casting to Manfred von Casting. They're vaccinating the Skaven. Very good.
I'm glad we got an impression from Andy.
Yeah. Well, you see, I could have done Obama, but I didn't do that. Coffee grounds for snorting. He'll always keep Bone Ripper 8, I think, in his heart. And a bit of his stomach.
We are absolutely past Bone Ripper 8.
And lastly,
in fact,
47, Warhammer Mummy tier list when?
Someday. Thank you for the 2.
Thank you. So,
we are up to at least Bone Ripper 13, and that was as of Elf Player, which was still there was still 5 Gotrek and Felix books to go after that, and a whole ass setting change.
Well,
crazy.
That was good fun. I had fun. Are there any closing thoughts you guys have on what we've just unleashed on the internet?
I will get Nagash into some S tier eventually. It will happen.
Aunvar is the best.
Have we done a versus on Nagash? Has he had a versus?
I feel like we have, but maybe not. Maybe not.
Remember.
Yeah,
Dude,
maybe not.
Nagash will get his day.
We can do Nagash versus Cetra.
Totally.
All right, and I don't want to do that one. Come on, that's no, that's not fair.
Silent King versus Nagash. That could be fun.
Easy dub.
Yeah.
Anyway,
Nagash has a lot more lore than the Silent King, though.
Also, unfair fight other way around.
And yes, if we do get enough requests, we might do a mommy tier list, but we'll have to wait and see. But yes, thank you for joining us, and Happy New Year's first proper stream of live, I suppose, of the year. Although you guys were talking about the Warhammer Fantasy stuff last week, which was good fun to watch. And hope you all had a lovely time. We had a lovely time, and we'll see you next time.
Bye-bye. Thank you very much.
Bye, everyone. Have a good day.